It's recording.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hey.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm so happy to see all of you. Oh my gosh, look at these faces. Beautiful. Welcome to your Landmark Forum in Action Session 5. Can you believe it's Session 5? Yeah, halfway. Halfway to the halfway, right? Very awesome. So I'm super, it's been 2 weeks. Man, it's just like getting to see your faces. I've been hearing about the miracles you've been creating in your groups and the breakdowns you've been having. So tonight there's going to be a lot of sharing. It's going to be spectacular. We're going to do a lot of creating, a lot of participating. And before we start getting into all that, I want to introduce someone here who is an important person. And you've seen him before. He's actually delivering an announcement. But this person, his name's Michael, and he's moved down here from the north to be with us. He's a highly trained introduction leader, great guy. He's also on staff, and he's going to introduce himself. Please welcome Michael.
So, Michael, hello. Good evening, everybody. Hey, nice to see some of you again. There's a few new faces in here. I don't think everybody was here for that announcement. My name's Michael Hairston. I'm not from too far north. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. So it's up there, but it's not.
I thought it was New York.
No. I'm a Floridian, born and raised. So it's so great to be with you guys. As Belinda said, I am a staff member here at Landmark, and I have, like I said, the best job ever because I get to work with graduates like yourself. Before the Landmark Forum, I did not have that great of a relationship with my mom and the rest of my family, but out of doing this work, it used to be, I'd come home, I'd go to my room, hi, how you doing? I'm leaving, hey, I'm going this place, I'll talk to you later, right? And then since doing the Landmark Forum, I have the best relationship with my family to the point where I'm now here 4 hours away, and on Thanksgiving morning, they drove down here with a U-Haul full of my stuff from St. Augustine and helped me move into my brand new home here in South Florida. And we got to have an amazing dinner together. We had such great conversations, and now I'm closer to my family than I ever have been, even though physically I'm a few hours away, right? So that's just a little bit of what I got out of the Landmark Forum, and what I do in my free time when I'm not, working on staff is I get to lead the introductions to the Landmark Forum, right? And why I lead the introductions to the Landmark Forum is because they are such an intimate setting where you get related to people like you never have before. And you get to have a conversation with a stranger that will alter not only their life, but your life just having let it, right? You get profoundly and deeply connected to people in a way that was never available to me before doing this work. And so that's why I lead introductions, and to the guests in the room, I'm really excited to be with you guys tonight. So thank you all for being here. Congratulations on completing your forum and being in your seminar. I know how much fun these things can be. I've done a few of them myself, so thank you all for being here, and I look forward to being with you again.
Okay, so if guests come, which they will be, we had 5 last session. They're going to be going into a room D with Michael. You got that, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, awesome. Okay. So everybody have your cell phones turned off? Back there, it's good. All right, so let's create. What are we gonna create together tonight? Yeah, Noah.
Possibility itself.
Okay. Yeah. See, after all these sessions, it's like, okay, we're going right to the intention. It's beautiful, right? So, what specifically are you creating, though, Noah, for yourself? Okay. Don't know. Yeah, sure.
I am creating the possibility of being a completely different person for just whoever I need to be, whoever I want to be. I'm creating the possibility.
Creating the possibility of being a completely different person.
Completely different person.
Yeah, transforming the being of human being. Yeah, beautiful. Great. All right, who else? Yes, no?
I want to continually create and recreate the possibility of being a person who is unflappable in the face of adverse conditions. So just rolls with it and continues on and doesn't, freak out or get worried.
Unflappable.
Yeah.
I've not heard that word before.
It's a good one.
Yeah, great.
I had to look up what
You two are in the same group, right? Yeah. Beautiful, I love that. Right, Miguel?
I was gonna say just to have a possibility to have more intimate relationships with others, strangers especially, people I don't know.
Being with people, being known, being related,
Yeah.
getting to know them. It's awesome. Love that. Who else? What are you creating being here for tonight? Yeah, Natasha?
Being excited to wake up every day, being excited for the day.
Is that how you wake up now?
Not every day.
Yeah. Like creating a future to live into. Being excited about that. I love it. Beautiful. All right, who else? Yeah, Hassan.
The possibility of not feeling constrained by X, Y, or Z, whether it's people or employment or circumstances. Feeling like I need to do various, whatever limits that I seem to set.
The experience of freedom, not being constrained.
Sure.
If you're not constrained, who would you be? Would you be being?
Myself.
Yeah, without constraints. So what does that look like?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you drove here, where do you live?
Handle.
Kendall, to be here tonight for that. And that's sort of being here tonight. Yes. Yeah. All right, so I want to have everybody grab a partner. Get two in the back. I want to have two people. So we got a lot of threes here, so let's get some fours. 2, 2, and 2. I'm creating the possibility of being profoundly related to you. It's being with you tonight. So we got 2, 2, 2. Those two. We have one person come over here, and Richie needs a partner. No, you stay here, Richie. Kimberly's coming.
I'm not sure. Were you saying that I should, or you should? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you want to turn to your partner and share what you're here for tonight. What are you creating being here for tonight? And, what actions are you going to take to fulfill on that? Because people will create something and they're like, well, okay, but I'm going to sit in my, it's easy to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to be like this. I really want that, but this is what I'm going to be, right? So what are you creating being here for tonight, and then what actions are you going to take to fulfill on that? And so I'm going to give you 2 minutes each to do that. Okay, go ahead and turn to your partner and share. Person with the shortest hair goes first.
Oh, it was.
Thank you. Oh, you're on it tonight. You time for it? Yeah. Yeah, so remember at 7:30? I want you to have 7:30. Not the CPR, okay? The ones that are not. minutes. Switch if you haven't switched. Please switch. 2 more minutes, please switch. Which means we'll Okay, 15 more seconds. 15 more seconds. Okay, please acknowledge your partner. All right, great. Okay, so who'd like to generate the intentions tonight? The intention of the series and the intention of the session. Who's someone who does not want to get up and share themselves?
Oh, no, she does it every time. I'll do it though.
I know you will, that's why. Paula. Wow, look at how tall this thing is. Okay, so you come up, the person that wants to generate the intention of the series, that means read it, and then intention of the session.
Okay.
Let's do one of somebody.
Paula's in it, don't worry about it. Paula's in it.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, let's go. This is what it looks like to participate. She needs to sit on the stage. It's, yeah, you can pull it out. It's also, it doesn't have a cord, you can pull it out of the.
So I think, right? So the intention of the series is to leave you able to deal powerfully with each and every aspect of your life. And the intention of tonight's session is to bring forth the possibility of possibility itself.
Beautiful. So let's look at that intention right here, the intention of the series. So it's to leave you in a state, to give you the skill or the ability to be with any aspect of your life and to deal with it powerfully. I know it says it this way, but I'm trying to like take it apart and put it back together again. That's how some early leaders get trained. If you can really be with that, that's a very powerful statement, right? And that's the entire series. And then here, we're gonna bring something into existence, right? We're bringing forth, causing, creating a possibility, a whole new realm of possibility for possibility itself to show up inside of tonight. So it's gonna require active listening, active participating, okay? And I want to acknowledge you, Paula. Thank you for doing that. Awesome work. Okay? All right, so let's get started. All right, so last session, what what was the last distinction we left off on? Distinction meaning the fundamental identity, yeah. So who's got the assignment with them from last session?
The worksheet?
Can you read it to us? Can you read it? Sure. Yeah.
What page, what part do you want?
Let me see. I want you to read this. Okay, fundamental terms of identity, winning formulas, and then this assignment right here. Okay, so that one, this, and then that.
Okay. The fundamental genius or genesis of identity and winning formulas. Some events in the past are interpreted as something is wrong and come with decisions on who and what you can never be. One's identity is formed by decisions that compensate you for who and what you can never be, which become the winning formulas that make up your identity. Now, do you want the second part, or we will discuss this?
We want this not. should we
Okay.
read-
Assignment 2.
Get that one.
Assignment 2. Take a walk down memory lane and look at your life from the model of the fundamental genesis of identity. As you do this, begin with experience the constraining and limiting nature of your winning formulas.
Can you say that sentence one more time?
As you do this, begin to experience the constraining and limited nature of your winning formulas. Start to speculate on new possibilities that would live beyond your winning formulas and would leave you touched, moved, and inspired with life.
Great, beautiful, thank you. Scott, can you come on up? We're gonna flip the board. Heather's birthday is today on production team, and she did this, came in and did the board work, and then she left, so, yeah. Got a really acknowledge her rest here for you guys. Okay, so what we said was the model for the fundamental genesis of identity is, it's made up of your 3 winning formulas, okay, and that's your identity, which is, in turn, really your personality. So, when you're a child in adolescence, in childhood, there's an incident that happened. And you were comparing yourself to someone in that moment. You couldn't be enough, and you experienced something's wrong here. Something's wrong where you are. And you compensated for that. So you said, okay, I can't be this, so I'm going to be that. And that became your first winning formula. Okay? And what I want you to get is, and I've said this a couple of times over the group leader calls over the past week, is someone said to me, well, you know, I wanted to find out the incidences that caused this winning formula, that caused this decision. And I said, okay, yeah, what I want you to get, what the important thing is it's not the incident that causes it. There's an incident that happens, and inside that incident is what you said. And I know you're not 6 years old going, oh, what can I compensate for? You didn't say that, right? But you have the experience of this something's not right. Okay? Your experience is something's not enough. So boom, you compensate for that and you become your first winning formula. Is that clear? Yeah, I wanted to make sure that got in. I didn't think I got that in the last session, so I got that. And then, you know, you get a little bit older, something happens, and then the same, different situation, obviously, but you have the experience of not belonging. This is in adolescence. This is between the ages of anywhere from like 11 to 16, 17, okay? And you compensated for something else. So then now, you not only have a winning formula of, what are some of your winning formulas?
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficient, and yeah, independent, self-sufficient. How many of you are independent? How many of you are codependent? I'm just kidding. Okay, what are some others?
I think always busy, always working,
Super hard, the hard workers. Who's the hardworking people in here? Okay, but sometimes I know that if I just work hard, I'll get it done. That's just gonna win out every time. So that's the winning formula. Okay, and so you now have 2 winning formulas. Right? And then the third goes along. And you know that without a doubt, there's no help coming. It's you and you alone. And you are on your own. Self-sufficient. Independent. What are some others you guys saw for yourselves?
Martyr.
A martyr. What is a martyr?
Self-sacrificing.
Okay. I've heard martyr before, but I want to give up looking good. I'm like, I really don't know the definition of martyr. I've heard it before. Okay.
So a martyr is someone who dies for a cause.
Could you say that, what are
Joan of Arc, Jesus, the guy who created the Bible, who wrote the Bible, got burned at the stake.
what would be a way of being that would be that?
Spending your last dollar, you need something, you got $50, you spend it on somebody else because it's
Selfless.
completely selfless.
Okay,
Like,
that's a way of being that.
it's like self-sacrificing.
What are you hearing back there, Scott?
Well, I was gonna look up martyr. See what the definition is.
Okay.
Look up flappable while you're at it.
Okay.
He's back there like this. Yeah, okay. Now how many of you, now, from that moment in time, thank you. Those 3 winning formulas were locked in place. Now how many of you saw the first incident for yourself? Okay. How many of you saw the second incident? How many of you saw the third? And how many of you didn't see an incident? Okay, all right, got that. So, I want to have you share from the assignment, okay? It's not something bad or wrong that you didn't see the incident. We're going to get clear on what your winning formulas are. What we want to get tonight is your winning formulas are very much there, out here in the world. It's like they're there just like the chair is. Winning formula is not an object, but you know it's there, okay? All right. So what have you seen about your own winning formulas? And what I want you to share is what you saw about it, and then how you operate on autopilot, okay? Who'd like to come up and share? Oh, come on up. Yep.
My son is compensating for that.
It's funny.
So what do I do?
So here's the question. What have you seen about your own winning formulas? So what are your winning formulas?
So being super busy all the time, I cannot rest, I cannot relax.
Okay, busy's not a winning formula. That's doing.
Overworking,
It's
like I
a,
have to be always working super hard and everything needs to be super difficult.
Hard work.
Yeah, but I restless, maybe.
no. So let's look.
Mhm.
So if we work backwards, okay, this will help some of you who didn't find it. If we work backwards, was it there when you were 25?
No, that was my one.
It was number 1?
Yes, that was my one when I was 11.
Okay, so we back further. It's in adolescence.
Mhm.
So it's X plus Y, just a second.
No, my I don't belong is I'm on convention.
Okay, so let's go back to the moment. This moment where you're saying that there's a winning formula.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so tell us, how old were you?
Okay, so well, many of them know already, so I was 11 years old, and it's the first time that I got scolded by my parents for not having good grades. It's the first time that ever happened. And they thought I was not applying myself. I was, I just didn't know how to study. So I needed to become a good student, because that was the first time in my life that I knew there was such a thing as bad student or good students, good grades, bad grades. I didn't know until that moment. So that became a thing. So apparently good students are good kids and bad students are bad kids, out of a sudden. So I just started working harder and harder, but when you don't know how to study, that really doesn't help much. So I had to really, and I wasn't allowed to watch TV, go out, do anything but study until my grades improved. And that took like 2 years
Okay.
to happen. So from that point on, I know I see it. I had to always be doing something and not sleep and not rest and not relax and no.
Yeah, and that's the constraining nature of the league workout.
Right, correct. That's why I say I hate it. I mean, it's called a winning formula, but to me, there's nothing.
Let's go back in that moment, okay, so where were you? Can you remember where you were?
Yes, at home in my the dining room.
Dining room?
Yes.
Okay, and who's in the picture?
My mom and my dad.
Your mom and your dad,
They
and
were
you're
sitting
11
there.
years old.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happened, right? So your mom or dad said something to you,
Yeah.
and what was said?
They said, these grades are unacceptable, you're gonna fail at life, you need to apply yourself, this is not elementary school anymore.
Your grades are unacceptable, you're gonna fail at life.
Yeah, and then you need to apply yourself, you're being lazy, you can do better and you know it.
Right.
And I was blown.
Okay, and right in that moment, there was like a comparison, like you couldn't be something.
Right. I couldn't be,
It's like
I
like
couldn't
another
be
person
relaxed.
sitting with?
I couldn't be relaxed anymore because.
Well, it was like this, it's who you couldn't be, someone else in your life. Was there another person you were comparing that you,
Students with good grades.
oh, okay. And who would that be?
I thought that was people that study all the time.
Yeah, but like who in your life would that be? Another student, the name of the student, the brothers?
I had her face here, but I don't remember her name. I forgot her name.
And she.
She's a best friend with me. And,
Your best friend?
Well, a very close friend, not my best friend, but my best friend also had bad grades. But it was a close friend. You know, we had a group of friends, some of what.
They all had bad grades.
No. Some of them had good grades, some of them didn't. This one, and they made me spend time with her studying instead of playing from that point on too.
Okay.
She was like, I think they mentioned it that day too.
So the person that you're, you couldn't be someone who got good grades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so there was a failure in that moment. There was a failure in who you couldn't be.
Yeah, and something was wrong because I was never scolded by my parents ever. I wasn't perfect, but my life was just so easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was distinct. Before this, it was the way, and then this happened, and it's now this way.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
The whole family dynamics.
Okay, so when there's the experience of something's wrong here, and you're not that person, you're not her,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what did you say?
I need to work super hard. I need, cannot relax. I'm not allowed to do any of the things that I
You
like.
didn't say I need to work super hard. It was something like, it was a failure of some sort, and what came out of that is working hard.
Oh, the failure was not getting good grades. I'm not a good student. Yes, right. And therefore I'm not a good girl. And then my parents teach me all the love.
Yeah, so there it is right there. I'm not what? I'm not a
I'm not a
good.
good girl,
Yeah, you're
and
not
I'm
a
not
good-
loved anymore by my parents.
So you're not a good girl? This is so rings. How many does this ring a bell for anybody? A good boy or a good girl? The rest of you are good, by the way. I'm playing with you guys tonight. So you're not a good girl, and that right there is who you became for the rest of your life. If you're not a good girl has to.
Be punished all the time and working all the time and just doing work all the time.
Be a hard worker. Yeah.
There's no time or space for any fun or any relaxation.
And, yeah, okay, and let's look in your life. What does it look like in your life?
The same way, I'm even trying to set up a night routine to just stop, right? Just stop and get into good life mode, and then I say I can't, and then I try, and then I find myself doing more things until I fall down of exhaustion, so to speak.
And what's that like for you?
Not really good. I have back pain, I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm frustrated. I know that it needs to be different. I haven't struggled to change it.
Well, I have some great news for you.
Okay, we can use that.
First thing is, this is for everybody, your winning formula never goes away.
Okay. But,
I don't know where you get that. She's like, tell me more. So when I say active listening, it's like, wow, she said that.
okay.
So it's permanent for every human being. Every human being has their winning formulas.
Okay.
Now, you have back pain, you know, your winning formula produces results, but it also creates back pain, stress. Yeah. And you said something about changing it. So I want to look in your life, an area of your life where this is like really impacting
I mean, besides not getting good sleep, that affects your health, right? It affects my health. I have affected my health because also I don't allow myself to even eat properly. I mean, I just eat in a rush or eat less than I should be eating. And I know you say you want to have that problem, you don't. It affects my appetite a lot, and that affects my health, physical health. It can affect my emotional health too, by anxiety, tension.
And you know what? You have the ability to go beyond the constraining limits. You have the ability to go beyond your winning formula. Did you know that? Were you here at session? Yeah. That's why. You guys have the ability to go beyond your winning formulas. Do you know that?
Yes.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna bite you.